Hello, third grade. Good to see ya. I'm really excited because today is art show day. Yes. Very pumped. So you might be wondering, Ms. Cravens, what is the art show? I don't know what it is. Please tell me. What's it gonna look like? So what we're gonna do is each grade in the school gets their own super individualized project. It's gonna be excellent. So this particular project, we spend a little extra time on it. It's a little extra fancy. It's extra fabulous. So you have picked up this little kit. This is your art show piece. Everything you need is in here except for the scissors. You will need your own scissors. But you're like, what do we do with this art show piece? Do I just keep it? You do keep it, but you will need to take a really nice picture of it, because what's gonna happen, because in the past we used to gather in the gym, look at all the art set up museum style. We'd be like, oh wow, look at that, that's beautiful, there's my art, it's all so great. This year, since we can't gather, we're going virtual. So with that great picture that you took, you're gonna send it to me, and I'm gonna put that in a movie, and it's gonna be excellent. And we're gonna email that movie out. It's gonna have your art in it, so you can look at your art, you can show it off to people you know. You can look at other people's art. You can even look at what other grades have done, which is super cool. We'll probably play it during lunch times here, so even more people can see it. And it's gonna be great. I'm really excited for this digital virtual art show. It's gonna be very different, and I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be cool. What y'all are gonna be doing, I'll give y'all a sneak peek of what we're gonna be doing. You're gonna be doing an artist-inspired work, a Monet lily pad. So we have this beautiful 3D, it's popping off the paper, a little bit 2D. There's a lily pad down there made with tissue paper. It's a little sparkly. A lily pad. It's beautiful and stunning, and I loved making this. I will be making another just for fun because it was that much fun. So this is what we're gonna be making together today. Get super excited, and if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, it's because I switched up all the colors. So you might have orange, you might have yellow, you might have purple, who knows? You just have a beautiful project regardless.
So who is the artist who inspired this project? That artist's name is Claude Monet. Monet was born in Paris in 1840, so he is French. He also paints in a style called impressionism. So impressionism is when you look at these paintings, they are not super realistic. We know what they are, but everything's more painterly, a little loose, a little fast way of painting. We can actually see the brush strokes on the page instead of people or artists trying to blend it all together flawlessly. He painted a lot of outdoor paintings. That was something he really enjoyed. And the thing that he is most known for are his lily pad paintings, which is really ironic because it's brought so many people joy, and he actually painted this during a very sad point in his life. But these paintings continue to inspire people. People love looking at them, and I think they are quite beautiful. So this is Claude Monet, y'all. Let's make our very own lily pad artwork inspired by Monet. Let's start by breaking down this little kit that y'all picked up. So it says you'll still need a pair of scissors, so have those on hand. You'll actually be cutting quite a bit today. So to make this beautiful project, ooh la la, you are going to need, let's open this up. This is our materials list. So, blue piece of paper. This is for the base, the water. These are our stencils. This is the lily pad. Each one of you is gonna have kind of a different color of this big paper. This will be the color of the flower that ends up being made. So they're all really nice. I tested them all, they're great. You're gonna need that tissue paper and this little piece of felt. Oh, and this glue stick. This will be your buddy for this project, the glue stick. Okay, let's get started. Where to start? I know where to start. Okay, there are quite a few pieces to this project, but let's start with the lily pad. So that way it has some time to dry while we work on other things. I will go ahead and give y'all a heads up. I'm making these videos because I think this project's gonna take us more than probably one day to do, just because things have to dry. There's quite a bit of cutting, got stuff to put together. So, this way you can kind of pause the video, come back to it when you need to.
No problem. So what we're gonna do with this lily pad is we're not just gonna color it. I gave you all this tissue paper. You're more than likely not gonna use all this tissue paper. I just gave you all a lot of extra because I thought it would be nice. And you have a glue stick. So what we're gonna do is we are gluing, if you have a purple glue stick, it will dry clear, no worries. It will look a little purpley for a while though. Gonna put some of that down, and I'm gonna start putting this on. It is okay to go off the edges. It's actually, I think it's a good idea. That way you make sure that the whole thing is truly filled in. And I gotta make sure that these are not stuck together. There we go. It happens quite a bit. Do a little bit of overlapping. Make sure it's super flat. Sometimes to make sure that it is super flat, I'll even glue the top of it. I think gluing the top of it, sorry, my camera's shaking. I'm too aggressive with the glue stick. I like gluing the top. That makes sure that it's super, super flat, because the last thing I want is like, I'm gluing stuff down and this is like flipping up, because that's not what we want. So you're gonna glue the bottom and you're gonna glue the top. All right, so let's fill this thing in. We're gonna overlap some of those tissue papers. We're gonna be gluing the top. It's okay to go over the edges. Pretty much everything I've gone over. All right, let's glue. Now that is all done. So we did this first so we can kind of set it aside to dry. Like I said, you'll have a ton of extra of this. I just didn't feel like counting things out. So do what you'd like with this. I don't mind. It is yours now. Okay, set this aside. It's gonna go dry. Goodbye. Now, let's go ahead and start working on the petals of the flower. So these are our stencils. So the way we cut these out is pretty important because we're gonna be tracing these onto our big paper, our flower petal paper, 6 times each. So we're gonna cut these out. Let's do it very neatly, very nicely. Take your time and I'll do a good job. We got the 3 stencils. Yes. So grab your big paper, not the blue one. It will not be the blue one. Your big colored one. It was probably folded in half. Okay. And grab any like pencil, or probably a pencil. I'd use a pencil just in case. We need to do 6 tracings of each of these. Okay. So they will fit. You'll even have extra room. But you know, keep them pretty close together when you trace. As I have found, you can do 6 in a row, 6 in a row, and then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these can go vertically. Okay, let's trace these on. I very purposefully kind of tried to squish them together because it's good to have a little bit of extra room, because honestly, you don't know, like one of these might disappear somewhere after you cut them out. So it's good to keep a little extra paper, you know, for the unexpected. Things may disappear. You never know. All right, and so this is the part that takes a little bit, but after this, we pretty much just construct it and we're good to go. So we do need to cut all these pieces out. It's not too bad, you know, put a little music on, do a little listening, and just cut. It can be very soothing, very, you know, relaxing, as long as you don't think of it as like a chore to cut. So let's get cutting. Once this is done, let me get that lily pad. This lily pad is not completely dry, and this might take you like a whole class to do these 2 things. So you can always, you know, wait till another day. This will definitely be dry by then, but even like mine's just like lightly sticky still. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. I'm gonna
grab the base, which is the blue paper. Set these aside for a second. Let's go ahead and glue down this lily pad. Mine's still a little sticky, so just be careful when you're sticking it to something that it might get stuck to the table while you're pushing on it with this glue stick. It happened to me last time, so just be careful. Kind of weird things when you go through projects really fast. But if it's dry, you have nothing to worry about. Okay. Oh. Oh no. There we go. Oof. Okay, stick that on. And then this is when we start assembling the lily flower. So really all we have left to use is this piece of felt and our little things that we've cut out. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are starting with the big ones. And here's a good trick. If you have like a lot of like pencil lines, like on some of these, I kind of have some very obvious pencil lines on mine. I'm just gonna use this clean looking side. It's the same on both sides. This one's just kind of dirty, so I'm gonna put that, you know, facing the other way. How we get this to stand up. So this is like curved up. So how I turn this flat leaf into a curved one, leaf petal is what it is I'm gonna kind of bend this. So I'm not bending it, like no, because now I'll have a crease in it, but you're just kind of bending it like a little rainbow. And when you do that, I'd even bend it more than you think, because what will happen is it will fall over time, is it will kind of curl to the side. So I got that. Awesome. So what helps me is sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to make all 6 of these kind of go in a kind of circle-y shape, and I don't want there to be any space in the middle. So sometimes I'll kind of practice it, lay it out even when it's flat, like this. Okay, and I'll know that I really need to kind of fit it in kind of right here. And I'll draw myself a little circle, because honestly, I'll never see that circle again. It will be beneath everything. So you're not doing a light gluing. No. You're actually gonna, this is a little weird. You can do this with glue sticks. Glue sticks are actually really good for gluing a lot of stuff, but you're gonna kind of give a little like chunk of glue. So I pushed a little harder on my glue stick to make a little blob, and I'm gonna stick that down. And you should have no problem, that should hold. Should be good to go. So what we'll do is we're just gonna continue to kind of curl and curve these flower petals. Like I'm curving all the way up to like the base. This part should stay flat. The little rectangle in the bottom, don't worry about it. But if you curl all this, oh, look at that. Because we can always, they're always movable, you know, a little blob. Stick down, kind of referencing my circle here. And we're gonna do this to all these large ones. We will curl all of them in the end. It doesn't take that long. Little blob. Because we don't want, we want it to be like a solid shape, no hole in the middle. Let's see if I can get that. You know, listen to my own advice. And you can kind of move things around. Like if you're moving, like this won't dry completely for at least, like you have at least 5 to 10 minutes before it's really like stuck. So like I just kind of moved that because I was like, I need to move it over a little bit. So it's still movable. So don't feel like it's ruined, it's stuck because you may have put something kind of too close to the other. Let's see. Oh, I might have a small hole in the middle. That's okay. See, this is what I was just talking about. I'm gonna move that forward. And now, move that forward. Now I don't. So everything's a little bit movable
for the first 5 to 10 minutes. So no worries. There's another little blub. Curl, curl, curl. All right. So those are the outer petals. So really, we're gonna repeat that process, now the medium and then the small, but you're gonna just put them like in the gaps. So like gap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are a little close. Those are a little close. Nah, it'll be fine. 6. So I'll just give you like a little bit example and then we'll speed through the rest of this step. So remember, curl this little medium-sized one now, the medium ones. Blob, that's a big blob. That's a gap. Stick it a little closer to the center as well. Like I don't want it to be also out here. A little closer to the center. Imagine it like in 3 layers. Outer, somewhat inner, and then like the very inner will be the small ones. So I'll have like a little gap there, there, there. And I won't want it to put too much glue down, so I want it to dry. Curl, curl, curl. Stick it in. And you know what? That's about it for this layer. I'm going to do the rest. I'll just speed through it so you don't have to watch me in real time. And the last layer, same thing. But now you're finding the gaps between the medium-sized ones. So there's a gap here. And you're just going to keep kind of pushing it a little more towards the center. I'm missing. Wow, okay guys, this is what I was just talking about. Have that extra paper because even maybe I'm crazy and I'm discounting wrong, very possible, but have extra paper. Won't waste your time. We'll just know that Miss Cravens has one missing. I took my own advice because I lost one. Oh well, the next layer with one missing, so sad. We have kind of this very 3D looking lily pad flower. And our final step involves this little piece of felt here. So with your scissors, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut little, what are these, like little lines into it. So it looks kind of like a fringe. So let's go ahead and cut those little lines. Looks like that now. And we are gonna roll it up like a cinnamon roll. It doesn't have to be really tight. It's actually a little better if it's not a super kind of like tight roll up. So roll, roll, roll. Because if you roll it really tight, it's smaller. But if you roll it a little looser, it actually gets a little bigger. You can even kind of, here we go. Okay, blob, blob. You're putting like a pretty big blob. Ooh, but be careful, because I don't want to move your petals around. Okay, that should stick. And you know, my glue stick's not too messed up. It's still very usable. It's kind of icky looking, but it's usable. What you're gonna do is kind of stick that down. You're gonna have to like push this a little bit. That's okay. Kind of by pushing it, you can kind of like refluff it, push it down, make sure it looks really nice. All right, and then you're gonna let this dry. This is pretty much done. One last bonus step you can do. I did not include this in your art materials, but it is like a bonus step for the water, is if you have, do I even have one near me? Okay, I'm back. If you have a like white crayon, or even like I found this oil pastel that's white crayon, white colored pencil, white anything, or even a light blue, because it's kind of a darker blue, just to add a little couple wavy lines to make it like look like that it's watery, a little more watery than just blue. And that is really like one last little step. It's an optional step if you don't have the items for that, a white coloring material, don't worry about it. It is not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Okay, this project whew, is done. It's so cool. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. So with this, when you take a picture of this, get experimental with it. Like, do you want to take a picture from the top? Do you want to like shoot it from like a little bit from the side? And find a nice background. Like, if you have all this stuff like all around your picture, like that's not gonna look as good because it kind of looks a little messy. Take a really nice picture, even if that means like getting someone to help you with it. Take a really nice picture of this artwork. You should be very proud. This project probably took y'all a little while, but I guarantee you it looks amazing and it deserves a nice quality picture of it to send in for the art show. Well, that is the end of this beautiful Monet lily pad project. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I love this. It's beautiful. I've never really seen anything like it besides in this project. So enjoy, and I can't wait to see what y'all make. Have a fun time, and see you next time. Bye.